Welcome to Lynn Speaks. An inspirational, motivational conversation designed specifically to help you move forward. And now, here's Lynn.
Welcome to another wonderful episode of Lynn Speaks podcast. I'm back. Happy New Year, everybody. Oh my God. Can you guys believe it? It's 2026. You know, we walked out of 2025 last year, and my daughter and I, we walked out, we attended the night watch service, and it was such an amazing service. So I want to give a shout out to Pastor Sam and everybody who just did an exceptional service at the Conquerors Church. It was really, really beautiful. You know, God put a word. Pastor Sam had the young man, he was 9 years old, and he had a word. So it started out the mouths of babes, okay? You can't tell me that it don't. But I'm so excited to experience what to walk into in 2026, because today we're going to be talking about starting over, starting fresh, right? How do you walk into your 2026? How do you understand what steps to take? How do you even know what to leave behind, right? Because a lot of times, many of us, that's where we go wrong. We try to bring 2025 on over to something new, but that ain't what God designed. Because if it is, we wouldn't be leaving 25 going into 2026, right? So you got to leave the past behind. And just like so many people, you guys got tons of texts, right? Because I know I did. But you got tons of text messages saying, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And sometimes those text messages come from people that you want to leave behind in 2025, although you appreciate and you acknowledge the text message, but sometimes it's not meant for you to respond. Just go ahead, because that might open up a door that God said leave behind in 2025. So be okay with leaving behind what's meant to be left behind and walk into 2026 and what God has designed for you. So I'm excited because I hit the ground running, right? Where most people slept in this morning. I was like, okay, I got to get it together. I got to figure out what to do, because He brought me this far. He brought me out of hiding for a purpose and for a reason. So I'm about 60 days in now. So I might as well like hit them hard, go home or go hard, right? Isn't that what I used to say when we did the podcast? Go home or go hard. So it's time to go hard in 2026, because I got a lot to say. I got a lot to share. And there's a lot of my guests have a lot to share with you guys, right? So I'm excited. But before we get into my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guest, oh my God, he just really blessed me. I made that phone call, he answered, and I said, oh, so when Lynn was out here, my name is still good out here in these streets, y'all. But anyway, before I bring my guest on and we talk about starting over, starting fresh, walking into 2026, we got to always give a shout out to our sponsor. So I want to give a shout out to ETSN 24/7. So this episode was brought to you by
Experience the difference with Executive Transportation Services Network, your trusted leader in luxury ground transportations and concierge services. Our award-winning team delivers safe, reliable, and professional services every time. Call 734-770-8990. Choose Executive Transportation Services Network, where excellence rides with you.
Well, shout out to Executive Service Transportation 24/7. God bless this company. They have just been a whirlwind to making sure that the Lynn Speaks brand is showing up and shout out. So I want to shout out to ETSN 24/7. Thank you so much for all that you do, all that you have done in 2025, and all that God has called you to do in 2026. Okay. All right. Next time I'm gonna get the clapping sound. me and my team got to figure out how to make the audience clap. Even though we got a live audience in here today, they just slacking. Y'all got to get on my audience, okay? So anyway, without further ado, I want to introduce my next guest. From the tough neighborhoods of Baltimore and Jacksonville to becoming one of the America's premier emotional intelligence trainers. His journey is one of resilience and triumph. Raised single-handedly by a resilient mother amidst challenges such as substance abuse, homelessness, poverty, domestic abuse, his story is one of remarkable perseverance. Undeterred by the hardships, he successfully pursued his education, earning a bachelor's degree in psychology from the prestigious Johns Hopkins University and a master's in nonprofit management from Capella University. His incredible journey and dedication to overcoming adversity have fueled his passion to help others. He uses his expertise to support numerous organizations with their team building initiatives, communication enhancement, data analysis, and program development. His engaging workshops and seminars have gained wide acclaim not only across the United States, but globally. His extensive portfolio of satisfied clients includes powerhouses like Fiat Chrysler Corporation, the Federal Department of Education, and the Washington, D.C. Business District. In addition to his hands-on training, he has authored a best-selling book on emotional intelligence, topping the Amazon's charts in 3 categories. He's always enthusiastic. His mantra is, let me help your team overachieve. I want you guys to put your hands together and with me and joining my special guest, Rodney C. Burris, to the stage. Hello, Rodney. How are you? Yes. There you go. How are you doing today?
I'm on with us. There we go. I think my computer's a little slow. I think I'm
That's
lagging.
okay. That's okay. You know, we always having some hiccups here on the podcast, but we working through them. We working through them.
No problem. Yeah, I think it's a little bit laggy. But Erica, you read that thing like we don't go way, like we don't got history. Y'all, she know me. She know me. Me and Erica know each other. You know what, Erica? The thing I love about Michigan too, I know we were talking about Michigan right before the show started. Michigan people have this beautiful thing of like being like, so where you from? Like, where you from? And pointing to the hand. Y'all, you know what I'm talking about? Y'all do that, don't y'all?
Yes. But the thing is, when people ask me where I'm from, I just say Detroit. It's a lot easier to say Detroit because that's all they know, even though I don't live in Detroit, but they only know you by Detroit.
So where you at? You in Troy? You in Auburn Hills? You in Bloomfield? Where you at?
I'm in Clinton Township.
Okay, all right. You see, I know a little bit. You see, I know a little something about the D. That's what it is.
So where are you at?
So I'm in Baltimore. I live in Baltimore, but I have traveled extensively back and forth for years, back and forth to Detroit, greater Detroit. So all in little towns that I was just naming. I feel like my camera very slow on your end too, because it's lagging on my side. Is it lagging?
Well, actually, I can hear you very well. The sound is good, and your mouth is, it's pretty good. It's okay.
It's not lagging too bad?
Nope.
Okay, no problem. Okay, thank you for having me. I'm ready. I'm ready when you are.
So now when I put the call out to you, your response was, I'm traveling. So are you speaking and traveling, or are you still on holiday?
Gotcha. So I was on the road. I was just getting back into the city from Baltimore. Getting back into Baltimore. I had been bouncing around a little bit over the past couple of weeks. You caught me at a good time. So yeah, instead of like going out and off now, if you'd have waited a few days, I'm gonna be in LA for a stretch coming up here in early January. I got some other movement in the bottom part of January, and then after that, it's off to the races. Boom, 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 boom. So you snuck in. You got good timing, Erica.
Listen, I got that gift.
That's right. That's right. You gotta follow.
Yes. So it was so funny because when I and we're gonna get into the topic in one second, but when I thought about you coming on the podcast, I said, wait, who is I gotta bring him on my first episode of 2026. You helped me out so much in 2023, even when I wanted to take a vacation. You came on and co-hosted the podcast. No, not co-hosted. You hosted the podcast for me. So thank you.
About that. You are right. I have a video that went viral, and it's a snippet from when I was on your show. And so at some point during our very first conversation, when you were hosting, I said, yeah. Whatever I was saying, I was like really enthusiastic about agreeing to whatever we were talking about. That snippet was used in a different video, and it went viral. So every time I see it, I know where that comes from. I know where I was at when I recorded it. I know who I was talking to on the other side of it. So yeah, I got my own piece of like Erica Lynn lore that's in my professional trajectory. So yeah, I'm with you.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So let's just jump right into it. Now we're talking about starting over, starting fresh in 2026.
Yes.
And a lot of people, as in my intro, I was saying to them that you do have to leave some things behind in 2025, walking into 2026.
Yeah.
So my question to you is how or what will a person know what to leave behind in order to walk into 2026 fresh?
Ooh. So first of all, let me say, Erica, that humbly, I'm a student of what we're talking about for my own self, right? So I don't view it lightly, like, oh, let me just pop off and say a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to share maybe some like personal stuff on our conversation today. I've kind of been chewing on the topic, what we're going to do. It may get deep, it may not, right? It may stay lighthearted, but I'm gonna be authentic in a moment. I do a lot of self-work around what am I letting go? What am I walking into? How does that look? Right? Because God has granted me access into places where my background says I shouldn't be. Not because I have like a criminal history. Thankfully, I don't. That's a whole different story for another podcast. That's part 2, part 3, part 4. I don't have a background like that, but I don't come from a background that allows me access to walk through the White House. But I do. I don't come from a background that allows me to train leaders at the Federal Reserve Board, the group that runs our economic policy and sets the interest rate for the globe. I do train their leaders. I have had a multi-year contract training the leaders at the Department of Education for the nation, right? And so I don't take that lightly. And because I'm allowed access into these places, it's one thing to get in, but you got to stay there, or else you'll be politely asked to leave. Your access won't work no more. Your little clearances get rejected and all that kind of stuff. And so I practice what we're going to talk about today, right? So I just wanted to kind of share that opening, because I think it's real easy to sound like popping off a whole bunch of stuff to say, but what does that look like? And for real, I was about to call you E. See, I'm getting real.
That's all right. We go back.
We go back. For real, E. Like when we engage people that are stuck for real, for whatever their little holdups or hangups are, that might not be nothing or it might be everything. What would I feel or need to hear in order to get unstuck? Because just do better. That don't work. Y'all just stop. That don't work. So what do I need to hear and feel to get me unstuck for this little thing that shouldn't be tripping me up, but it is. It is. And now what? And so I want to be for real effective. Like I really want to be effective in my spaces. And so what does that look like? Letting things go? For me, it's as simple as paying attention to the body. Mm-hmm. Can I talk about it for a second? All right. So when I was a little kid and we were in Florida, I was eating these pecans off the ground, right? Picking up pecans.
Eating what?
They call them pecans. Everybody else call them pecans, right? But down in Florida,
And you talk about my accent. Okay, go ahead.
shout out to the Florida. They call them pecans, right? So I was. Everybody was like, "Oh, snap! Look at these! They picking them up, they cracking them." So listen, my name Lou. You go too, right? I'm picking up the pecans, cracking them open, popping them. My throat was on fire, Erica Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
But as a kid, all I knew was I don't like pecans. That's all I knew, right? I didn't think this is an allergic reaction, anaphylaxis, my throat closing up. I didn't think none of that. I was in pain, but I didn't know what else to do with that. It wasn't until I became a father and one of my kids had bad allergies that I began to connect what he was going through with some of my own experiences. And I realized God made us very, I was about to say perfectly. I know ain't nothing on this earth perfect, but there's a lot of beautiful, intelligent design into who we are, right? So
Yes.
we eat something and it mess up our little bubbly guts, right? And it give us a headache or it make your throat close up or whatever it is. We know not to touch that. We know not to eat that. First natural, then spiritual. Mm-hmm. When I go around to people's house, my aunt, cousin, in-laws, how do I feel? Mm-hmm. Am I stressed? Am I anxious? Do I not want to go over there? Why I'm around there then? If I know that every time I'm getting ready to go do this, I start going through those and I'm talking to myself and I'm lollygagging and wasting time, those are all indicators. Those are rashes. Those are the flare-ups. But we ignore it on a soulful, emotional level. We ignore that because we live in this kind of like be a bigger person or all of those kind of things. When for real, we got a feedback system that's telling us everybody else can eat them pecans. Mm-hmm. You allergic to go around to people's house. You allergic to interacting with that person. So with that particular boo thing or whatever it is, right? And so the number one thing that I would say about letting things go as we walk into newness is increasingly giving ourselves permission to listen to our bodies, to our soul, to how we feel, right? Because we hear it, we feel it. I felt it when I was a kid, but I ignored it. Giving ourselves permission to be like, I don't like the me that I experience when I talk to her. I don't like the me that I experience when I'm over there, when I'm going through this, so how do I let it go? I think it starts first with the permission to let it just. So that's my own personal step one as it relates to releasing.
Now I like that. I like that because if you think about it, right, and if anybody think about it, when because oftentimes you go back to a relationship, just not even just going into a new year, but going backwards. But you're correct. If you think about how did I feel when I was in that relationship, what type of experiences when I came around that person. Was I happy or did I just feel withdrawn or did it make me feel sad or am I not getting out of this relationship what I really wanted? And oftentimes, if you really think realistically, then that one thought would make you not want to go back.
That's right.
Because you would be like, I didn't like the person I was. I didn't get gratification. I didn't get, you know what I mean? I didn't. Because and this is one thing, everybody love differently.
Yeah.
So the way that you love might not be the way that I receive love. And not saying that you're wrong for the way that you love, but the way you love is just not for me.
It gives me an allergic reaction.
There you go.
It gives me, I'm allergic to it. But see, sometimes we be ashamed of that, right? Sometimes acknowledging that makes us so uncomfortable that I'm allergic to how Erica loves on me, but I know Erica mean well. Okay, she does mean well. So you're just gonna sit through that burning, that pain, and I don't mean to tease you, Erica, but you know what I mean? For all of the relationships that we have in our life, how do I feel? I got a homie of mine. His name is Will. And Will said, he told me this, man, I hang with people that think too much, Erica. I hang with people that just why you don't got nothing else to do but just make up theories about life. So here go one of his theories about life. He said, Rod, man, I think we don't actually like or dislike anybody. We don't really hate or love anybody. I was like, what? He was like, what I think really is happening is that I hate the way I feel when I interact with them. I don't like how the me that I experience when, or I love them so much. What are we really saying? I love the me that I get to interact, the me that I get to express, the me that I only find when I'm over there with you, or when I'm by myself reading, or when I'm on roller coasters. I love it's not the roller coaster. It's not the food. It's the me that gets to experience that. It's the me that I am. And that little pivot of when I say I love you or love that or love this or whatever it is, if I can pivot into what I'm really trying to say is I love the me that I experience, it gives us so much control. Because if my love only exists at the amusement park or over with them people or whatever it is, if they close the music park, if it ain't no more roller coasters, if they stop making that food, I'm lost now. But if it's really a function of my own self, maybe I can teach myself to experience that when I'm here, when I'm there, when I'm by myself. And all of that takes work. I'm not trying to say it's just turn it on, turn it off. But the one step towards it, starting fresh, that one step, like I can't get all the way but I can take a pivot towards it, I think changes everything.
Yeah. I mean, because I guess that's where that saying comes from. He makes me a better woman, or the guy go, I'm a better man because of her.
Yeah.
And that's because that experience between the two of you is a wonderful experience that you want to do better. You want to experience new things. You want to meet their needs. You want to be the best you that you can be to show up like your best self for that person every day. And if you're doing anything less, then that person is not bringing that out of you. We're not saying that it's their responsibility to make you happy. What we are saying is when you're around them, just their mere presence, their mere being, that they're just everything about them, that light from them reflects back onto you. And then you just shine so bright that you be like, wow, I didn't even know I had that in me. I didn't know I could do this. And so that's a prime example of being able to walk away from something. And when you think about turning the corner and going back, ask yourself, am I my best self around that person? Am I happy being around that person? Is that person making me sad, or am I uncomfortable, or do I feel like I got to be something that I'm not? Like when you feel like all of those things, 9 times out of 10, that person was just an experience or a time frame in your life just for a time period, and it's time to move on, start fresh to what God got in store for you.
You're messing them up now. So out there, I consider Detroit a Midwest city. I know it's on East Coast time, but Detroit feels like a Midwest Baltimore to me. Detroit. Chicago's Midwest too. The rapper Common out of Chi-Town got one of my favorite sayings ever in one of his lyrics. He said, "Don't take all day to recognize sunshine." I love that. It don't take me all day. I gotta wait till half the day to go and realize the sun been up. You know the sun is up. Well, if an experience, if a food, if something is good to us, if it's sunshine to us, if the me that I get to experience comes alive, that's like the other side of the allergy, right? And so I think that, especially for growing up in the church, at least a good part of my experience growing up in church, there was like this downplay of anything that felt good. If it was pleasurable, like be careful, because the pleasures of sin only last for a season, right? And so when I'm interacting with a person and it resonates with me, that makes my inner light shine in such a way. So if the pot was hot, I wouldn't touch it. If my throat closed up and my shellfish made me swell up like Hitch, like Will Smith on the thing, I know not to eat it. But if it's good to me, watch that flesh, right? That's how I was taught, right? And so we don't always know how to lean into environments and relationships that do make us come alive, that do make us feel like we're on one accord. And so instead of leaning into them, we second guess it, we walk away, we put it on the shelf. And so it's this kind of like double punishment experience, Erica, of I don't give myself permission to get away from the stuff and the people and the places that's harming me, that I don't feel so great around, because I got to be a bigger person and all this, take up my cross and all of that, all which are fair things, right? But within balance, within measure. And then the stuff that is good to me is like, oh no, it's supposed to be a struggle. It's supposed to be hard. And so I would love for us to embrace more and more. I already said this. I'm just going to just bring it back full circle again. Give ourselves permission that when we recognize the sunshine, the Rodney and me that gets to connect with the Erica and you, and that kind of like, you know, you talked about church early, so I'm gonna keep referencing until you kick me off of here and tell me not to come back no more. But when that deep calls to deep, right? When the light in me is kind of bringing out the light in you, and it kind of magnifies and amplifies. When we experience that in different places, and you see it, like you lean into those, you appreciate those, whether it's a job, whether it's whatever it is, right? Whatever type of experience it is, as long as it's not harming nobody, as long as you're not breaking no laws, we know right from wrong. Little kids know to hide the thing that they shouldn't have had, right? They 2-3 years old. We know right from wrong. So it's not about that. It's not about, well, if it feels good, just do anything. We know, ain't nobody crazy. There's not a country on this earth that's like, y'all got a problem with murder? Because we know, everybody know. And so if it's good, if it's healthy, whatsoever is pure, whatsoever is lovely, whatsoever is good report, dwell on those things.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's amazing. So I think now, from now on, when it comes to relationships with anybody, whether it's personal or friendship or family, now you're going to have me thinking about, they making my throat swell. I got to get away from you. I got to go. So listen, but you know what? That analogy was such a beautiful analogy. It's something that would always stick. You know, I don't think I'll ever forget that. Just like many people use the analogy when the kids touch the stove because it's hot, then you don't do that. But it's true. Them little kids, they don't never go back and touch that stove again, you know? So
yes.
You know, so I think that was really, really great. We started with relationships, because I know that so many people that's going to watch this podcast is battling with walking away from the person that they don't need to be attached to. But when it comes to business, whether you own your own business or you work for somebody, how can you make that determination as far as what to walk away from? So, for example, when it comes to business, how can you make that determination as like, this business is not going anywhere, I think I need to let it go and move on to something else, or to really put some more work into it to grow this business so that I can move into the next phase of it?
Ain't that tough, right? Like that's one of the dichotomies of life, right? Like, is this me doubling down and pressure and press towards the mark and the victory comes at the end? Or am I kicking against the rock, right? Like, am I hurting myself and I'm being stubborn? That I don't think it's any like one answer, right? Like, well, you know, this and this and this. However, I do think so. There's this game called Othello. You ever heard of that game? It's a game.
Yeah, I never played it though.
Yeah,
it's kind of like backgammon, right?
I don't know. You using big words and stuff. I don't even know what backgammon is, Erica Lynn. Didn't I just tell you I'm from Baltimore? I don't know.
Well, you use the word dichotomy. Now I gotta go Google what that means.
I love that. Okay, fair enough. All right, we got each other. All right, okay, fine. So Othello is a very simple game, right? It's these little flat little discs, very smooth. They got two colors. One side of it is white, the other side of it is black. And the goal is if you surround the other team, the other color, then you get to flip that color over to yours. The goal is to get as much of the board covered as possible, right? That's it. Their slogan on their box, Erica, says, "A moment to learn, a lifetime to master." I bring that up because what I'm about to say fits in that vein, I think. Easy to recognize, easy to learn, moment to learn. What, mastering this thing? Oh, that's the stuff of life, right? Like that's why we here. And so to me, the premise, just like Othello, is as simple as this. Do I feel alive when? Do I feel deadened, sullen, dampened when? So if I'm doing something and the outcome of it or the process of it is hard, I'm up early, I'm up late and all that stuff, but it gives me a certain bit of life, that's an indicator. Lean into those things. If I'm doing it and it's easy, Montel Jordan, this is how we do it. Montel Jordan is 6'8". What did they want that brother to do, Erica? Not sing. What did they want him to do? Play basketball. And he could hoop, he could play, but his heart wasn't in it. So the opportunity to make money wasn't enough to get him to play ball. The lights, the cameras of the being in the NBA wasn't enough. His love was in singing. His love was in performing. And so, like, I think it's that simple. I think it's that Othello simple. Do I feel alive when? Does something in me quicken? Do the ideas about it? Do I when I'm like, man, we could do this and then we could do this. That is an indicator. That's an indicator. Now, if I'm like, it's nothing wrong with getting tired, right? Everybody get tired. Muhammad Ali loved the box. He got tired. Everybody get tired. So it's not about the fact that I need to rest. I need to turn my car engine off. Car engines can overheat even if you kept the maintenance up and the oil change, the gas in it, right? So it's not about the fact that I never need to come off of it for a little bit. But do I wish that I never had to do it? Do I hate the Mondays of it? Do I live for the weekend escape from it? Something about that that's choking us.
Yeah.
And so just like learning how to pay attention to it. I know I'm making it real simple, but I live a life of trying my best to practice this kind of stuff.
I think that first of all, you still kicking it out here in the game, right? I done left and came back, and you still out here kicking it in the game. You're not working the 9 to 5. You're traveling around the world, helping 9 to 5s to continue to grow their companies.
That's right.
And I had an opportunity to look over your bio. I said, I'm so proud of him. Like, he's still out here doing his thing.
That's right.
And you working with the youth.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So shout out to you. In this season, God has been sending a lot of youth my way.
Okay.
And I'm not, would you say I'm not certified in working with the youth, but I'm not going to turn my back on them either. So but I'm going to befriend them and work with them the best I can, and then try to, send them to somebody who really specializes in being able to help with a specific problem or situation. But what advice would you give to the youth, like teenage young men, especially?
Yeah.
That is just really going through that thing that boys go through, that frustration, time of frustration. They feel like nobody understands them. Their hormones is all out of whack because they're going through puberty. How can they address some of those feelings, and B, how can they like address it so that they can move forward into the next phase of their life without allowing it to boggle them down?
I got 3 boys.
Okay.
One of them's 21, one of them's 19, and the other one is 12. I also had a lot of their friends around me throughout their years growing up as well. I'm going to say this, and half of your wonderful Erica Lynn nation is going to love it, and half of them will be like, that boy crazy. Here we go. You ready? Here we go. Here we go. So one of my favorite lessons about dealing with people, but boys especially, particularly, comes from that little old guy that had that show on cable TV years ago. His name was Caesar Milan. He had a show called The Dog Whisperer. I don't know if you ever heard the name of that. You remember the name of that show? All right. Caesar, one of the things that he used to do with his little show and interacting with the people and they crazy animals and all that kind of stuff, he was like, everything about that dog is you, the owner. That's the first thing that I love that I thought was novel. I was like, really? The second thing he said was, dogs have the type of energy that they gotta go to work. They gotta use it, or else they're gonna be aggressive, or they're gonna tear up stuff. After they use that energy, their mind is in a space, the dog brain is in a space where it can listen and can be taught. You gotta do that first. I think having 3 boys and all them other boys in my house, that is the golden key that I found for getting them to listen. And so whether it was competition based, whether it was just for fun, like sometimes I would send them and have them and go. And sometimes you got to give them $1 or $2 or whatever it was. Sometimes I had to be out there with them. If you don't got no dad, so I didn't grow up with a father, right? Look, shout out to my boys for getting a little soft life, having a dad in their life, little chumps, right? And their little friends that got to come over here too. But you know, for those of us and those young men that don't have that, one of the things that makes us feel bad is when we're not putting out energy to something as men. There's a driving force in a man, right? It is what it is. The masculine energy is not hold you, come here. That's not masculine energy. The masculine energy gotta push. Now, that doesn't mean they gotta go out and be a boxer, or be a fighter, or a football player, or a basketball player, or something like that. You can be a little computer guy. You can be a gamer. A dude has to feel like I'm pushing into my way into this world. It's in a way that makes me have respect. I respect myself. I'm liking what I'm doing. I'm getting respect from the other people around me. And so pushing into the world and burning that energy up is step one to feeling good as a man, as a young man, as a boy, as a teenager. I'm in Baltimore, just outside all day, ain't got really nothing else to do, just out on the corner, just hanging out. That turns into Caesar Milan Dog Whisper, tearing stuff up, right? Because it's kinetic energy that's not being used. It should be used. It should be, right? But it's just sitting there. It's under agitation. And so like a can that's full of pressure, right? Be careful, contents under pressure. This thing could explode. And we see it every single day. And so for people out there that's working with young men, working with boys, having them sitting down the whole time. But see, this is true for men.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it a parallel. I know I'm telling you a whole bunch of stuff. Let me just get this.
No, I'm following you though. I'm following you. And while you talking, and I gotta add this, and we don't have to embellish on it, but I feel like young men also have a whole bunch of horniness bottled up inside of them too. So they dealing with that on top of everything else that they got going on, and how they're able to navigate all those sexual feelings, emotional feelings, understanding how to be a man, looking at what society got up against them, don't have role models. Some don't have role models. They got a lot against them. And so go ahead.
That horniness is a part of that energy too, right? And so where I come from, no bad, don't look, don't have. And then when I was growing up as a child in my house, the short period that I had a mom and a dad in my house, my dad was like, "You like that little girl?" It was kind of okay. My mom was like, "Don't like nobody." I couldn't talk to nobody. And so when I became a father myself, I got 2 younger sisters. We have a lot of children. Me and my 2 sisters gave my mama, you ready for this number, Erica? Me and my 2 sisters gave my mama 16 grandchildren.
Oh, y'all was busy.
It's a lot of them. I got 5. My sister got 5. My other sister got 6.
You got 5, Rodney?
5. My oldest twins are 21. Lynn and Anthony are 21. My son under them is 19. My daughter under them is 16, going to 17. And then my 12-year-old. Right? So
you've been busy.
3 of them out the house. 3 of them out of there. And then I just got my 16-year-old and my 12-year-old in the house right now. So, but I say that to say one of the things I used to talk with my sisters about, that somebody said 16. Shout out to Deja. Thank you, Deja. Yeah, my mama crazy. She got 16 grandkids. That lady crazy. I don't know what's up with my mama got 16 grand. That lady crazy. Nah.
Listen, that's a beautiful thing. I don't have any grandkids yet, and I'm waiting, but I'm patient because I ain't really that kind of grandma right now at this point in my life who's sitting still enough for the kids to come over, and I don't have that kind of furniture right now to have a bunch of grandkids in here. However, when one of them get married, I expect a grandchild. But I think what's gonna happen is one of them gonna get married, and then all 3 of them gonna start popping out babies.
It's gonna happen like clockwork. So what I was telling my sisters is this, right? Like, if a child is 3, 4, 5, 8, 11, if they walk past a grill outside, you don't gotta tell that child, "You smell that grill? Don't it smell good?" It smells good to the kid. Making them think that scent, that aroma from that cookout, from that grill was not good. They didn't smell it. You didn't even notice it. It's stupid of us. Because it's natural for them to like the little girl. For them, that little girl, what the little boy thinks she's pretty. It's natural. Now, should you at 3, 4, 8, 9, 10 go over there to them people grill, open the hood up, no, you shouldn't. You don't know what you're doing. You can't cook. You could burn yourself. So it's not run wild, run free, but at least honoring the fact that the food smells good. The same system that says the food, the aroma smells good, is the same system that sees prettiness, that sees color and beauty in the world. So if I, as a 9 or 10-year-old, 11-year-old, can see a picture or a painting or a sunset or clouds and think they look nice, I'm not going to then look at a little boy and little girl and just see nothing. It's not realistic. So we set ourselves up for failure, right? We set ourselves up to be unrealistic. And so, again, I'm repeating myself. I'm beating this drum, right? As my mom would say, my mom, Erica, be mixing up words and phrases. Mama be like, "I know I'm drumming a horse." Mama, you're not drumming a horse. So I know I'm drumming a horse. If we give ourselves permission that the fact that my 9-year-old thinks this aroma from the grill smells good, don't mean I'm about to lose him to sin and death for the rest of his life. Just because he liked the little girl or she liked the little boy, don't mean they're bad or wrong or stop that. It's a way to do it. You don't deserve to be on that grill at 19 years old, 12, 13 years old. But getting them closer and closer to being able, in real life, I had a grill. Real life, I had a grill on my back porch, most of my kids. All them little young adults I named, when they were small, I grilled all the time. And as my boys got older, especially, I'd be like, "All right, go over there and flip it over. Flip the meat over," right? Or help me put the bricks and the charcoal in. Not light it, right? Help me put it in. Or
Mhm.
2 days later, when it's completely all out, help me take it out and dump it. Like they got to get accustomed to it, because if not,
Yeah.
we get young adults who finally got some freedom, finally out by themselves, and now they run wild because they've never been exposed to structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And so you have parents here that is trying to navigate through this phase that the youth is going through, right? And they use like, my child is driving me crazy. They doing this, they doing that. All he wants is girls, or all he's doing this, or he's misbehaving, or and they're just at their wits' end, right?
Mm,
So, and as I was that parent at
yeah.
one point, and I have two boys, and
Yes.
the 124 and 130. So I done been
Congratulations.
there, but I didn't have anybody to guide me through that process.
Yeah.
What you say, Rodney?
I'm proud of you for having you a 30-year-old. You don't look like you got no 30-year-old, Erica.
Oh,
Come
okay,
on now.
then.
Come
Okay,
on.
then,
Come
my
on.
love. Yeah, no. I honestly, I'll actually be 50 years old this year.
Come on, Erica. Speak about it, Erica Lynn. That's good. That's beautiful.
I'm proud of it, though. I'm proud of it because I've gone through a lot, and to come out on the other side and speak about it.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to that. I think the one challenge that it took me to get used to is now I'm considering auntie, you know?
And rich auntie. You give rich auntie vibes too. You know that, right?
Somebody else said that to me too. Shout out to Kaylin.
You give rich auntie vibes, right? So yeah. We was having a conversation about this. I was at a birthday party. Anyway, I don't know if that's the topic. I can't. Yes, you got rich auntie vibes, Erica. Absolutely.
Well, thank you. I received that. Okay. But okay, so let's get back on topic.
Yes.
So the point is, and I just want you to speak to this, and then we'll move on.
Okay.
How do the parents navigate through the process of the teens going through their trouble periods? Like, as a mom, like I said, I didn't have anybody to help me, so I was yelling and screaming and sit down and shut up. Just do what I tell you to do. Well, mama, what you saying don't make sense. Just do what I say. Well, why? I don't know. Just because I told you to do it. And you know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know how to explain it to you. So I just want you to give some advice to parents on how to navigate through this process when the teens is going through this puberty stage, as I call it, or young men, they haven't reached that point of maturation yet.
So I would say three things. Number one, there's a healthy way for them to experience some of that stuff. Whether it's a girl, whether you got daughters and they like boys, there's a completely being on or off isn't realistic. We not with them 24 hours a day. They're in school probably longer than they are physically in the house, right? The time they wake up in the morning and are awake and go to school, and the time they come home and go to bed, them hours compared to the whole day of them not being with us. So realistically helping them have a little access to something that is structured and covered sometimes takes the appetite from wilding out, right? It's kind of like eating a snack or something that spoils your appetite. The premise of that works. So if we do it right and we do it well, and don't have to be junk food, don't have to be candy spoiling it that way. But if we recognize the naturalness of the girl boy dynamic, right, and do it in a way where it kind of takes some of that hunger, I'm starving, I gotta, because you have a mess then, right? Anybody, what the Snickers say? Snickers say you not yourself when you hangry. We're gonna lose them, and then we're gonna have problems, right? So that's one. Two, literally, especially for single moms out there, giving those guys something to do that they want to do, right? Go over there. Rodney said you got to use that energy. Move these boxes around. If he ain't been moving boxes today on his own, that's probably not the best thing for him to do. Well, he got work to do. We got to clean up around here. We do got to clean up. That's the other part. There's something that this guy likes, all guys, that they like to do. When I was early, I said that this applies to men as well. So I was asked to help be a part of an initiative to bring dads into the schools here in Baltimore, right? This was years ago when my kids were very young. And what I realized is forget other dudes. I don't want to go to no meeting after school, up at the school, and sit in a circle, and it's a PTA, PTO. I ain't trying to do that. But it'd be packed with mothers because they get the importance and they get to connect and be some little cakes or crumpets or whatever, a little tea, coffee, little dudes don't eat like that. I don't want to sit here and talk to y'all, but you know what I might want to do? I might come back up to this school if y'all showing the Final Four. If March Madness is on, if the game is on, if the fight is on, call a spade a spade. I'm gonna watch the fight somewhere anyway. I'm gonna watch the game anyway, right? I'm gonna be a part of these kind of things anyway. And I don't want them little cute little crump and carrots. I'm not gonna eat that stuff. But it's wings. I know we can't have certain types of drinks and certain types of food because we're in a school. But we got some soda, we got some wings, and the whatever that I wanted to see anyway is on. And so then we do that, and we host it at the school at 7:30 or on a weekend or whatever it is. And now I got 20, 30, 40 men in the building. And before we turn the game on, guys, now that it's halftime, gentlemen, these important things about your child's education, they capture the audience. And this is what I'm talking about what's natural, giving ourselves permission to lean into what's natural. It's not natural to not like girls if I like girls, right? It's not natural to not like the little boys if I like the little boys, for the right. You know, you got your guys, your girls. It's not natural just to say it don't exist. It's not natural for guys don't just sit around and talk in a circle by themselves. But if they are together, it's a reason for it. Let's bring that reason into the church. Get more men up in here that way. Let's bring this reason into the nonprofit, into the school. And now we got the guys because we've naturally drawn them based on what they like. It's the same principle for teenage boys. What do you naturally like? How do I help you get more of that? And now that I've done this for you, now that I've burnt your energy out, Caesar Milan say your brain is teachable. Okay. I don't mean to compare guys to dogs. There's some parallels, right? And there's like some parallels to that feminine and the feline, little prissy little cat, it's some parallels there, right? And so if we honor that and recognize that and use it, I think we'll be so much further ahead as opposed to trying to fight it and control it in ways that are not natural and realistic.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense. I don't want your viewers to
No, you know what it did, because I can say well said and very cleanly well said. Because I know in this season I'm flowing with God, right? So I too have to watch how I say things, right? Yeah. But in the afterglow, because after the podcast is over, you know, we'll take you over and we're gonna bring you back for the afterglow. So we won't be live on air, but we're gonna record our afterglow. Because if you was in the studio, we always do the afterglow, and in the afterglow, we ask some questions and you can talk a little more earnestly. And then my staff. Absolutely. But again, it's well said, because most parents think that you have to completely take something away from a child because they're a child. But however, if he's at that age of dating and his hormones, what it sounds like to me, you're saying is, yes, let him experience a relationship or dating, but in a cleaner way. You know, create an environment where him and her can come together and have a date, whether it's at a school function or whatever. Right. Many people are around, so create that environment for them.
That's right, because it takes the edge off, and then you got them. And the third thing I would say about us raising boys and going through the puberty and going through the raging hormones, and even if it's not just boys, if it's girls too, because I got 2 daughters, and one of them drive me nuts right now because she's still in my house, and she said that we best friends, and I'm like, I don't even like you, little girl. It's like, I do like her, man. I like my little 16-year-old, but it's really, really, really important that we become different and better as we want our children to become different and better. So if we live a life that every Tuesday is this, and then this is the same, and I got the same clothes, and I got the same and the same and the same and the same, how can we expect difference from anybody? That's a leadership principle, though, right? John Maxwell, one of the nation's top trainers about leadership, has a book called The 21 Laws of Leadership. And one of his principles is your staff, your membership, your body up under you is capped at your level of leadership. So wherever I'm at, they can't grow. Not with me as the leader. Now, if I'm not the leader no more, who knows? They might got a lot of potential. But them people stuck and stunted at my current level of leadership. Unless I, as a parent, as a pastor, as a principal, right? Because it's not just germane to a household or a school or a church, it's leadership. If I am in the process of becoming and trying and stretching out and doing some things differently and better, it allows the ceiling that I operate in to go up some, and it allows them in a controlled, safe way to also stretch. Some of the stuff that we deal with people that don't listen on our job or in our organizations or in our churches or in our groups or whatever it is, or our kids in our house, sometimes some of that is what's called naturally growing pains. Wow. Shoes are too tight.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So we're gonna finish the rest of this in the afterglow, because we're coming up on the hour. Okay. How I just want you to tell everybody how they can reach you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. How Rodney can everybody reach out to you?
Thank you so much for having me, Erica. My everything is Rodney C. Burris, Rodney. The letter C stands for Christopher. So if you see that online, that's me. Rodney C. Burris. Burris is Burris. If you type that in, you're gonna see a whole bunch of stuff. And if it got my little funny little shaped head, it's probably me. Feel free. I'm down to connect.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for answering my call and coming on the podcast today. You added so much value. I'm gonna have you back on the podcast, and we're gonna make sure we fix your tech issues. Do you plan on coming to Michigan at all?
Yeah. So I was supposed to be. There's a television company out there that does some filming, and we're supposed to be having a show. It's called goodness gracious, what is it called? One God Network. Have you heard of that before?
No. But we're gonna get into it into the afterglow, so you can tell me all about it, because I definitely want to connect with you when you come to Michigan. Okay.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for having me, Erica.
You're welcome. So we're gonna put you backstage. Don't go nowhere. Okay.
All right.
And I'll see you in the afterglow. But thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Wow, you guys, that was just amazing. And we're going to get out of here. We got 2 minutes and we out of here. I just want to thank Rodney for being on the show. He said something that will always resonate for me. Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to love. Give yourself permission to heal. Give yourself permission to walk into your next phase. Give yourself permission to walk away from the things that did not mean you purpose or did not grow where you needed to be. So give yourself permission to walk into 2026 and be the best you that you can be. Walk away from what was holding you back in 2025, understanding that it's okay to start fresh. It's okay to start over. It's okay to start new, right? Because if you stay where you at, then you're going to always be at that same level. But if you walk into what's next, what's new, what God has for you, then it's time for you to grow to your next level. So again, I just want to say shout out to Rodney, because I am going to think about that whenever something that I wasn't supposed to be walking back into, how it make me feel, or the thoughts that I had, I'm going to give myself permission to live greater, to be better, to walk into my purpose on another level where God has me. So I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of Erica Lynn Speaks Podcast. And I'll see you next time, you guys. But guess what? Always remember, it only takes just one step beyond you. God bless you, and I'll see you guys.